Yeah, I don't quite see it that way, Shaq, in terms of, Newcastle have had a difficult summer. A lot of headlines, a lot of negative headlines. Eddie Howe, far from perfect, but they're at home, still got a good side, still got good players, still got the big crowd behind them. And this is a Liverpool side that, let's be honest, they have hardly convinced from the Community Shield to the Bournemouth game. The defensive issues that we saw in both games would be enough to give me some hope as a Newcastle player and as a Newcastle manager that we can exploit those problems in the full-back areas. We can exploit the fact that it's a new back four. We can exploit the fact that when Florian Wirtz is in the side, it's an extra midfielder out the side. And so the balance of that Liverpool team changes. And also, Newcastle can send some sort of message here to certain players who may or may not be thinking about joining. By beating and matching the current Premier League champions at home, all of a sudden, as you're a player, sit up and say, hey, maybe that's, if I have my doubts as a front man and Isak's going, maybe that's not a bad place to go. Maybe there's going to be more happening at Newcastle this season than not. Contrast that, if Liverpool hammer them, it's a different scenario. But I think I've seen enough from Liverpool in the first two games that as successful and as good as it was last year, certainly in England, for Liverpool, where it seemed almost perfect for Arne Slot for a long time, it's sort of shifted away from that a little bit with the new players coming in. Good players. They're all good players. But he's having to find the right balance with these players coming in and getting used to playing with Van Dijk and playing with Konate and all that sort of thing. But they've had their problems. Crystal Palace showed it. Bournemouth showed it for long periods. And I do think Newcastle can show it in this game at St James's Park, which is why I've gone for a draw. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Liverpool will get it right eventually. They're going to have to because they're going to be in a big fight with Arsenal. But I think early on, Arne Slot has got some thinking to do in terms of his team shape and how they're working as a unit, because they're definitely not, and they're as far away from as slick as they were last year at this point of the season because of the signings. It's as simple as that.